Guys, I need all of you to stay with me on this one because what happened in Chile over the past few days has become so much bigger than just a concert. It has become a story about loyalty, hope, unity, and the incredible bond between BTS and ARMY that has been built over more than a decade. And if you've been scrolling through social media recently, you've probably seen the videos already. Thousands of ARMY gathering peacefully, filling the streets with purple, holding banners, carrying their ARMY bombs, singing BTS songs together, and standing side by side to protect something they had been waiting for over many months. But here's the part that really caught everyone's attention. As these emotional clips spread across X, TikTok, Instagram, and fan communities around the world, another conversation quietly began taking over the fandom. Fans started asking one simple question: do you think BTS has seen this? And almost immediately, one name appeared over and over again: Jimin. Now, before we continue, let's make something absolutely clear. At the time of this video, there's been no official statement confirming that Jimin directly responded to the peaceful protest in Chile. Everything we're about to discuss comes from fan conversations, interpretations, and the emotional connection ARMY have built with BTS throughout the years. This isn't about claiming something happened when it didn't. It's about understanding why so many fans believe that if Jimin were to see everything unfolding in Chile, his heart would probably be just as moved as theirs. And honestly, once you hear the entire story, you'll understand exactly why this conversation has become one of the most emotional topics inside the fandom. For many people outside the BTS community, this might look like a simple disagreement over a concert venue, but ARMY knows it goes much deeper than that. The concerts in Chile had already been announced, excitement had been building for months, and countless fans had spent their savings on tickets, flights, hotels, transportation, and vacation time just for the chance to finally see BTS perform together again. For some people, it wasn't just another concert. It was the fulfillment of a dream they had been carrying since before the pandemic. Others had waited years because BTS had never performed in their country before, or because they had never been financially able to attend previous tours. Families planned trips together. Friends counted down the days together. Fans created group chats filled with excitement, outfit ideas, fan projects, and travel plans. Everything felt real. Everything felt within reach. Then suddenly, uncertainty entered the picture, and with it came disappointment, confusion, and anxiety. Yet what happened next surprised even longtime members of the fandom. Instead of responding with chaos or anger, Chilean ARMY chose something completely different. They chose peaceful demonstration. They chose organization. They chose respect. They gathered together not to spread hate, but to make their voices heard in a way that reflected the very values BTS have encouraged since the beginning of their career. As videos from those gatherings spread online, fans from every corner of the world started sharing them. Some admitted they had goosebumps the moment they saw entire streets covered in purple. Others said they became emotional watching complete strangers sing BTS songs together with tears in their eyes. It wasn't simply about demanding that the concerts continue. It was about protecting years of memories, sacrifices, and dreams. Across social media, people repeatedly commented that the atmosphere felt incredibly peaceful despite the emotional circumstances. There were no scenes of violence dominating the conversation. Instead, the images that traveled across the internet showed unity, patience, determination, and love. That combination quickly turned Chilean ARMY into the center of worldwide attention. Suddenly, fans in Korea, Japan, Indonesia, Brazil, Mexico, the United States, Europe, and countless other countries were posting messages of support, changing profile pictures, creating hashtags, and encouraging Chilean fans to stay strong. In many ways, this wasn't only Chile's fight anymore. It had become something shared by the entire global ARMY community. And that's exactly where Jimin's name began appearing in thousands of conversations. Not because he had posted a message, not because he had gone live to discuss the situation, but because fans started remembering who Jimin has always been. Throughout BTS' career, Jimin has consistently been known as one of the members who openly expresses gratitude toward ARMY. Fans remembered his emotional speeches at concerts, the moments when his voice cracked while thanking supporters, the times he admitted he worried about disappointing fans, and the countless occasions where he reminded everyone that BTS exists because ARMY believed in them. Those memories became the foundation for a wave of emotional speculation. Many fans weren't saying, "Jimin definitely responded." Instead, they were saying things like, "I think Jimin would be touched if he saw this," or "I can imagine Jimin asking everyone to stay safe," or "This is exactly the kind of thing that would make him emotional." Those comments quickly spread because they didn't come from misinformation. They came from years of observing Jimin's personality and the way he has interacted with fans throughout his career. One of the reasons these discussions resonated so deeply is because BTS has never had a relationship with ARMY that feels distant. Over the years, fans have watched the members celebrate birthdays together with them, laugh during live streams, respond to fan letters, notice fan projects in stadiums, and even become emotional after reading heartfelt messages. That history has created something incredibly rare in the entertainment industry. Many fans genuinely feel seen. They don't expect BTS to know every individual personally, but they believe the members understand the collective heart of the fandom. So when videos of Chilean ARMY standing peacefully under the purple banners reached millions of viewers, it almost felt impossible for fans not to imagine the members eventually hearing about it. Whether that actually happened remains unknown, but the possibility alone was enough to ignite powerful conversations that continue growing every single day. Another fascinating part of this story is how quickly older memories resurfaced. Fans started sharing clips from previous concerts where Jimin thanked audiences for waiting so patiently. Others reposted interviews in which he talked about wanting to repay ARMY's love with even better performances. Some found emotional moments from documentaries showing Jimin worrying about giving fans unforgettable experiences. None of these old videos mentioned Chile, of course, but suddenly they carried fresh meaning. Fans looked at those clips and felt as though Jimin's words reflected exactly what they needed to hear during such an uncertain moment. It wasn't about pretending those messages were directed at Chilean ARMY. Instead, they served as emotional reminders of the type of relationship Jimin has consistently tried to build with fans over the years. Perhaps that's why so many people describe this entire situation as bittersweet. On one hand, there was uncertainty surrounding something fans had dreamed about for months. On the other hand, there was an overwhelming display of unity unlike anything many people had seen in recent years. Fans who had never spoken to one another suddenly found themselves encouraging complete strangers online. Translation accounts worked around the clock so international fans could understand updates. Artists created illustrations honoring Chilean ARMY. Fanbases coordinated support messages in multiple languages. Even people who weren't planning to attend the concerts admitted they had become emotionally invested simply because they admired how respectfully Chilean ARMY handled the situation. The movement became a reminder that this fandom often becomes strongest during difficult moments, not because challenges are enjoyable, but because those challenges reveal just how connected millions of people can become through music and shared experiences. As the discussion continued, another interesting pattern emerged. Many longtime ARMY pointed out that BTS has always encouraged fans to express themselves peacefully and respectfully. Throughout countless speeches, interviews, and campaigns, the members have emphasized kindness, empathy, understanding, and responsible behavior. Because of that history, many fans felt proud watching Chilean ARMY demonstrate exactly those values. Rather than allowing frustration to become destructive, they transformed disappointment into peaceful action. That choice earned admiration from countless observers, including people who weren't even part of the fandom. Social media users repeatedly commented that regardless of the final outcome, Chilean ARMY had shown the world an inspiring example of how passionate fans can advocate for something they love without abandoning respect for others. And for many fans, that alone felt like a victory worth celebrating. At the same time, conversations about Jimin continued evolving in interesting ways. Instead of insisting that he had already seen the situation, more and more fans began sharing what they imagined he might say if he eventually learned about everything that happened. Some believed he would first thank Chilean ARMY for staying safe. Others imagined him reminding everyone that their health and well-being matter more than any single performance. Many thought he would express gratitude toward international fans who stood together across borders. These imagined messages spread widely, not because people wanted to replace reality with fiction, but because they reflected the compassionate image Jimin has consistently built over the years. In many ways, these conversations became less about predicting his exact words and more about celebrating the qualities that have made fans admire him in the first place. And while nobody can know exactly what the members discussed privately, there is one thing that remains undeniable. BTS has repeatedly acknowledged throughout their career that ARMY's support reaches them in unexpected ways. Whether through fan projects, social media trends, charitable campaigns, or emotional audience moments during concerts, the members have often expressed surprise at discovering just how far fans are willing to go to support them. That history naturally fuels hope within the fandom today. Fans aren't demanding recognition. They're simply hoping that one day, somehow, the members will realize just how much love surrounded them during one of the most uncertain moments leading up to these concerts. That hope continues to inspire countless messages, artworks, videos, and discussions as ARMY around the world waits for the next official update. As more updates continued circulating online, something even more beautiful started happening. Fans who had never been to Chile, who had never met a single Chilean army in their lives, suddenly felt connected to them in a way that only this fandom seems capable of creating. Messages of encouragement poured in from every continent. Fanbases translated local news into multiple languages, so everyone could stay informed. Artists designed digital posters that read, "We stand with Chilean Army," while countless edits combined emotional BTS songs with footage from the peaceful demonstrations. It almost felt like the entire global fandom had paused for a moment to remind one another that being ARMY has never been limited by nationality, language, or distance. This wasn't simply about protecting 3 concert dates anymore. It had become a symbol of everything BTS has inspired throughout the years. Millions of people who had never met each other were united by the same hope, the same music, and the same belief that respect and compassion are always stronger than anger. For longtime fans, watching this unfold brought back memories of other moments when ARMY came together during difficult situations, proving once again that this community is capable of turning uncertainty into solidarity. And perhaps that is why so many people found themselves becoming emotional even if they weren't personally affected by the venue controversy. They weren't just watching a news story. They were witnessing a community stand together in real time. At the center of all these conversations remained one important reminder that many fan accounts continued repeating: we should never confuse hope with confirmation. That distinction matters because one of the greatest strengths of ARMY has always been its ability to separate official information from personal interpretation. Fans openly admitted that imagining how Jimin might feel was simply their own emotional reflection based on everything they had learned about him over the years. Nobody truly knows what he has seen, what conversations may have happened privately, or when the members might eventually address the situation, if they choose to at all. Yet, even without official words, people found comfort in remembering the countless times Jimin expressed appreciation for ARMY's patience, kindness, and unwavering support. Those memories became a source of encouragement during uncertain days. In a way, fans weren't waiting for one specific sentence from Jimin. They were remembering hundreds of sincere moments that had already built trust between BTS and ARMY long before this situation ever existed. Sometimes, those memories are powerful enough to help people remain hopeful without creating unrealistic expectations. Another reason this story resonated so strongly is because it challenged a common stereotype about fandoms. Too often, passionate fan communities are dismissed as being overly emotional or irrational. But the images coming from Chile told a completely different story. Families stood together with children. Friends supported one another. Fans respected public spaces while expressing their concerns. Purple banners waved alongside hopeful smiles, and songs that had once echoed through stadiums were now being sung in the streets as symbols of unity rather than conflict. Many people outside the fandom admitted they were surprised by what they saw. Instead of headlines dominated by chaos, social media was filled with clips showing organization, kindness, and mutual respect. For countless ARMY, this became another proud moment because it reflected values that BTS themselves have consistently promoted throughout their career. Whether someone has followed BTS since debut or only recently discovered their music, it was difficult not to recognize how deeply those messages of empathy and togetherness have influenced their fans around the world. Looking back, perhaps the most unforgettable part of this entire situation isn't the uncertainty itself, but the reminder of why BTS and ARMY share such a unique relationship. Music may have brought millions of people together, but trust is what kept them connected. Over the years, BTS has celebrated victories with fans, cried with fans, laughed with fans, and grown alongside fans. In return, ARMY has supported the members through every comeback, every challenge, every milestone, and every new chapter. That kind of relationship cannot be measured simply by album sales or concert attendance. It is measured by moments like this, when people from different countries choose compassion over division and hope over frustration. Whether or not the members immediately respond publicly, the love being expressed across the fandom is already speaking louder than words. It reminds everyone that behind every ticket is a person with a dream, behind every purple light stick is a story, and behind every peaceful demonstration is a community asking not only to be heard but also to be understood. So, as we continue waiting for official updates regarding the Chile concerts, perhaps the most meaningful thing we can do is continue supporting one another with patience and respect. Let's avoid spreading rumors or presenting speculation as fact, and instead celebrate the incredible unity that Chilean ARMY has shown the entire world. No matter where you live, this moment has already proven something extraordinary. When a community chooses kindness, solidarity, and peaceful action, its message can travel across continents. Whether you're watching this from Chile, South Korea, Indonesia, Brazil, the United States, Europe, or anywhere else in the world, we're all connected by the same music and the same hope that BTS and ARMY will continue creating unforgettable memories together for many years to come. And if one day the members do acknowledge the love and determination shown by Chilean ARMY, there's no doubt it will become another unforgettable chapter in the incredible story that BTS and ARMY have been writing together for more than a decade. Before you go, I'd love to hear your thoughts because this conversation is bigger than any single opinion. Do you think the peaceful demonstrations in Chile showed the true spirit of ARMY? If Jimin or the other BTS members eventually learn about everything that happened, what message do you think they would want to share with fans? Let us know in the comments below because I genuinely love to read your perspective and see how ARMY from different countries feels about this emotional moment. And if you enjoyed this video and want more updates, stories, and heartfelt discussions about BTS and the global ARMY community, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next upload. Every like helps this video reach more fans around the world, and every comment keeps this amazing community connected. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being part of this incredible journey, and as always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you in the next video.